TFL EV is brought to you by Flow Charger, maker of reliable, high-quality charging stations for your electric vehicle. Hey guys, check it out. I'm here in Spain, of all places, on a racetrack with an electric car. Behind me is the brand new 2023 Nissan Ariya. It's the follow-up to the Nissan Leaf, and in this video, I'm going to take it for a ride on the racetrack. Now, this is the first drive of the Aria. It is a prototype. It is a front-wheel drive vehicle, and it is... well, let's find out. Let's get behind the wheel and take a closer look. All right, so here's the thing, guys. I have to drive this in the track because these cars are prototypes. And apparently in Spain, you can't drive a prototype on the road. So we are here at the track. So let's see if I can get comfy in this vehicle. Start it up. Oh yeah. Welcome to Nissan. And away we go. Now Nissan has set up this course here specifically to be able to test the car's handling, acceleration. So there's like a city course. There's a bunch of cones. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing glasses when it's kind of raining outside, it's because they're prescription, so I can see. Now there are going to be two configurations of this car. There's an all-wheel drive and a front-wheel drive, and this is a front-wheel drive on a 63 kilowatt-hour battery and an 87 kilowatt-hour battery. And Nissan says the 87 kilowatt battery will have a range of up to 300 miles. Now, like I said, this one is at 73% with 147 kilometers. Now, I don't know what that translates to in miles per kilowatt hour, but you can do the math yourself. So now I'm in sport mode. Let's kind of give it a little bit of the beans here. Oh, that's better. Sport mode is much better. Look at that. I'm going to take it around this turn, see how it feels. Oh yeah, it's got a little bit of the cojones. Take it around this turn. It's good. It's actually really good. Doesn't understeer, doesn't plow. We are rolling on 20, so that should be helpful to this vehicle's ability to take on a track. But in general, brake pedal feel is a little artificial. Steering's a little bit on the numb side, but nothing unusual for an electric car. As you guys know, this will compete with cars like the Tesla Model Y, which is steamrolling the competition right now, the Ford Mach-E, the Volkswagen ID.4. It's that mid-size crossover segment that is red hot. This is a ground-up new chassis for Nissan, so they've obviously optimized it for electric car usage. It's kind of a rolling skateboard, which a lot of the manufacturers do now. One more stop here. There we go. Yes, good brakes. Regenerative braking feels good. You can change how much power you want going back into the battery and how you end up driving this, so you can drive it kind of one-footed. Now, Nissan says what they've done is they've patterned this vehicle after the bullet train, so they wanted to make it both serene and quick and fast. Have they accomplished that? Well, this one isn't exactly quick, right? I'll try one more acceleration run here before we get on this stretch of what looks like Autobahn, where the speed limit is 120 miles. So let me do one more in sport mode, a little bit downhill. It's leisurely. I'd say this is like a 7-second car, 0 to 60. Nissan says when you get to the bigger, all right, let's forward. Let's go all out here. So we can get to 160 and listen to what wind noise is like. 150, this is kilometers, and a lot of wind noise. There's 160. Yeah, not bad in terms of brake pedal feel. I'm actually really surprised how well this car brakes. So all in all, it's certainly an interesting design. Wheel and tire size, we're rolling on 255 40 R20s, so definitely big. Those look like they're aero wheels. And of course over here we get the charger, which is interesting because in Japan it gets the CHAdeMO, which is on the front of the car, but in America and in Europe here we get the charging port on the passenger side. Strike that over here. So CCS charging up to 130 kilowatt sustained, Nissan says. All right, let's take a look at the frunk. And the surprise there is, I think you know this already, that there is no frunk. Instead, what we have is a 12-volt battery, a lot of dangerous looking orange cables and a lot of plumbing. Nissan says that they've moved the HVAC system to behind the firewall, or in front of it from this point of view, to give you more room inside the vehicle. The other interesting stylistic feature of this vehicle, I think, is in the back right here. I like this pass-through, let me show you that. Spoiler. Let's pop the back open. Come on, open up. There it is. Good size room, 40-60 split. Cubby hole, charger. Yeah, good amount of room. So let's take a look inside. We'll turn the LEDs off. And there are two really cool features back here. First and foremost are these buttons right here. And as you can tell, that moves the entire armrest forward and backward. How cool is that? Nissan calls it a moving coffee table. The other cool thing is these two buttons right here. Let me hit open. Look at that. A hidden cubby. And you can put your phone in there, and of course if you're in Texas, you're welcome to put your Bible or gun. And then just hit close. Hit close, come on, you can do it. And it retracts. Now, I think the other favorite feature that I want to show you is this right here. Check this out. Now, those are your controls, but when you power up, look at that, they light up. This feels like wood, and then behind the wood, of course, are these haptic controls. Of course, navigation. Here you have your steering wheel with another volume knob. But look at that, a regular old volume knob right there. How cool is that? And I can turn the fan speed down. You do have this kind of horizontal line of vents going across. And unlike a Tesla, look at that, there are actually manual. Now the mirror is regular, or you can flick it forward and turn it into a camera. So you can see what's behind you in inclement weather, or if you want to be old school, you can do that. We do have a massive sunroof, which is really cool. And then there's this kind of like pattern that's replicated here and here and here. And if you look way down, come on, focus down there, there you go. And Nissan says that's basically like a Japanese lantern, like craftsmanship that would be wood carved into a lantern to give this car an interior light signature that's much more indoor house than typical vehicle. All right, so you may be wondering, how do I fit in the back seat? Or maybe you're not wondering. I'm wondering about it. So let's see. Flat floor, which is pretty cool. Heated seats back here. That's pretty cool. USB and USB-C. That's nice. Let's see how I fit. Well, you can tell, you know, headroom's okay. Legroom is actually really good. So yeah, there is a lot of space back here. Behind myself, and like I was saying, you've got this Japanese lantern-like detail here as well. I've got my E-pedal off, so this time I'm going to turn the E-pedal on and see what kind of regenerative brake feel I have. So here we go. So now, yeah, much more regenerative brake feel. When I let off the pedal, you can really tell it's slowing down. That is me not hitting the brake right there, but that is the regenerative braking. So I like driving one pedal. I think it makes it a lot more fun. It makes driving into a kind of a game. And if you're not used to it, it kind of feels on-off. But once you do get used to it, it's a really cool way of driving. The other thing I would say about electric cars in America specifically is that we are only at 4% adoption right now. Think about that. And that includes plug-in hybrids and hybrids. So Nissan hopes to get to 40% by 2030. That's only 8 years away. And that's a lot of electric car people in just 8 years. Right now, I'd say we're living in the golden age of the electric car. So, you know, there's no waiting at charging stations. It's just kind of green fields. So if you are thinking about maybe changing from an ICE car, internal combustion engine, to an electric car, this is certainly the time to do it. Now I'm going to get a little technical here for all you electric car fans. This is TFL EV after all. Nissan says that what sets this car apart is its charging rate, which is 130 kilowatts. And to me, 130 seems pretty old school. I mean, that seems like 4 years ago. Technology is changing so rapidly. I want to say the Mach-E is at 150 kilowatts, and of course the Porsche Taycan is at, 270 kilowatts. And basically what that means is, you're changing the size of the hole that you're pouring the gas into, if I can use that analogy. So the more kilowatts, the bigger the hole, the faster it charges. But Nissan says that unlike a traditional electric car, it can hold that 130 much longer. Now we'll have to do a charging test to find out if that's really true, but if that is true, that means that potentially you could charge quicker, but nevertheless, that hole, once again, using the gas analogy where you're pouring the fuel into it, is not huge. It's kind of mid-pack right now. It is what it is. I believe the dual motor has a top horsepower of, going off the top of my head, 380 something. So correct me if I'm wrong. And the front motor is more in the 250 plus range in terms of horsepower. So overall, do I like driving it? Yeah, it's a good drive. It's quiet, it's fun, it's fast. Well, seems to be fast. 100, what was that, 60? Not too quick. I'd have to wait for the all-wheel drive one to come through, but certainly one that's a contender. I think Nissan will do well with this car. The Leaf, I think, came out half-baked. It had batteries that weren't cooled or heated, and so they initially failed. It had a range of, I don't know, they said officially maybe it was like 60 to 80 miles. Realistically, it was maybe 60 miles, and then over the years it got better, but nevertheless it wasn't exactly a car that blew my socks off, and now of course prices reflect that, and this seems like a much more thoughtful and much more thought out entry in the electric car world. All right, well, there you have it. A very raw and unedited driving on a racetrack in the new Aria. Now you may be wondering, when does this car become available? When can I buy it, and how much does it cost? Well, some of the numbers have not yet been released, but figure it starts around 50,000, and when you get all the bells and whistles, you're probably at 60,000. Like I said, that's unofficial, and it will be available in both two-wheel drive and all-wheel drive with both 63 and 87 kilowatt batteries in the fall of this year. So pretty soon.